So Patrick Lyoya. Seems like a lot of people don't really understand why he was shot. It seems like a lot of people want to compare it to George Floyd. Well, I mean, in a few ways you really can, not in terms of the police, but in terms of resisting arrest. Resist arrest, get hurt. Resist arrest, get shot. But for some reason, criminals just can't figure that out. And more of these are going to happen because crime is up. When crime is down, there's less opportunity for these types of situations to happen. So we're going to do a breakdown of this entire thing because there needs to be some truth out there to this and some logic.
Stay in the car. Get in the car.
Okay, so right off the bat, not listening to the officer. That's really the first mistake, because when you don't listen to a certain request, especially a small one, in the officer's head, now he's thinking, well, what's going to happen if I tell him to turn around and that he's being arrested? If he can't follow a simple order of get back in your car. So this officer's already on high alert before he even walks up to him.
Dude, I'm stopping you. Do you have a license? Do you have a license?
For what?
I'm stopping you. Do you have a license?
What that?
So the officer abandons trying to get him back in the car and just goes straight for, do you have a license?
Do you have a driver's license? Do you speak English?
Yes.
Can I see your license?
All right, that was kind of a dick move, but he wants what he's asking for.
What that is wrong?
The plate doesn't belong on this car. Do you have a license or no? Do you have a driver's license?
Yes.
Where is it at?
It's in the car.
Get it for me.
What that is wrong?
The plate does not belong on this car.
So for some reason, he's not understanding that you can't have another person's plate or another vehicle's plate on a different car. A lot of people do that for vehicles to rob banks. And that's one of the things about this, is people are saying, well, how did this escalate from just a wrong license plate? It's not a wrong license plate. You have to physically remove yours or physically remove one from another car to put it on your car. It's not just a traffic stop.
No. Stop.
So here's the other thing that people don't get. When you're detained by a police officer, everything is a question. You're trying to de-escalate the situation along with the police officer. So you're kind of working together with them. So if you just start walking away, you're leaving everything up to the officer's thought process. Why is he walking away? Is he going over there to get a weapon? Is he about to start running? Instead of saying, officer, clearly you've detained me at the moment. I'm at a traffic stop. Can I walk to the other side to get my ID or get whatever I'm going to get? Now, a lot of people say that he was startled and that's why he ran away.
Put your hands right. Stop. 1915.
To me, I think it's just a lack of knowledge on how to behave when you're on a traffic stop or when you're detained. This officer grabbed him, but it was a nice grab. It's not like he hit him. It's not like he tripped him up. It's not like he threw him on the car. He was just getting him to stop what he was doing because he didn't communicate what he was doing. So then this guy's running around. It doesn't really look like he's trying to get away.
Got one running. North, south. Stop.
He's running around really slow in circles.
1915. Got one running.
So then the officer tries to taser Patrick because he's resisting. He's not cooperating at this point.
Let go of the taser.
And Patrick grabs his taser. So this guy now has his taser, where it's under him. It's not in the officer's possession, because when you look at the other frame and you see the officer grab his pistol, he wouldn't have been able to do that if he had the taser in his hand. You would have had to see him throw it off, drop it, something. And this is where a lot of the confusion is amongst the US right now. If a person who is resisting arrest gets the officer's taser and shoots that taser at the officer, then what? There is literally a million different possibilities that can happen. This police officer did everything he possibly could, except having a happy-go-lucky attitude, to subdue this guy. And then at the end, what his lawyers are probably going to argue when this guy inevitably gets charged, because the whole system is a joke, is it was his life or the officers. That's it. So Ben Crump wants to talk about this, and they've got a little diagram here, and this is what he says, and this is what I'm saying about people are just dumb.
Based on scientific evidence, we know that Patrick Lyoya was shot in the back of the head based on scientific evidence.
No shit! Did you not see the video? You don't need a doctor to tell anyone that he was shot in the back of the head. Back of the head, neck, spinal cord, all of them are gonna kill someone. A lot of arteries. You got a whole bunch of protesters in Grand Rapids, Michigan saying, "Why are you in riot gear? I don't see no riot here." Well, maybe because you guys burned down and looted and everything you can imagine for the entire year of 2020. Would that be a good answer? It's kind of like someone asking you, well, why do you own guns? It's called being prepared. You know the saying, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it? Exhibit A at your protest. And then we have Reverend Al Sharpton, one of my favorites. Do you ever take a break from this race baiting stuff?
This young man was shot in the back of his head while a policeman was on top of him. And there was some kind of struggle. But how you justify shooting someone in the back of the head, clearly you were not in a position where your life was threatened.
Did you not see the part where this guy grabbed his taser? Do you think a taser is a weapon, Reverend?
And they will not release his name, the name of the officer, saying, well, he has not been charged. So now do we have a rule in America that you cannot release the name of an officer unless they've been charged? So if they're never charged, we'll never know who did it?
Yeah, they won't release his name because all of y'all will go to his house, harass him and his family. So for everyone who thinks that this shooting was wrong, you should ask yourself a few questions. And I've never said this before, but it's about time someone did. If the two people were reversed, if Patrick Lyoya was the cop and the white guy was the suspect, and the same situation happened, would it have even made the news? Would you have heard of it? Would you have cared? Would you think that the shooting was justified? Would you think that if the white guy got the taser and shot the black guy and took his gun, would he have shot him? If it's different for you because the positions were reversed, you have nothing to say.